Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Yes, my name is Isaiah Unique Thomas Smith, July.
All right. Thank you, sir. And, sir, I may have made a mistake here. You did self-surrender in this case. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, you went down to the probation office?
Yes.
In this case?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually, if you don't mind me explaining it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so when I actually got released from you guys, I was actually waiting to meet my probation officer. She never turned up. It got to a point to where I started signing in with other probation officers, like, could you write me down, or I would call in, and they were telling me that I was being reassigned another probation officer. So by the time I actually just found this out was last week, them waiting, never got a response from them. So I called in to see, what's going on, trying to check in. They're like, hey, your new person is Zach. And that's basically how I went. I was like, okay. So he told me to meet him, and I went down there to go and meet him. And he told me that I had a warrant, and, that's just how it is. Other than that, it wasn't, if I was aware, I definitely would have came in, but I wasn't. I was looking for her, especially when I was living at the shelter.
Okay. I'll tell you what, sir, because I do see you went down to the probation office on this. So here's what I'd like to do then, is set what's called an unsecured bond. That means you don't have to pay anything today as long as you show up to your probation hearing August 19th, downtown Phoenix, and I've appointed you an attorney. The $1,000 bond gets erased. You don't have to pay a penny of it. So in other words, you get released today. You don't have to pay anything today. If you go to court on the 19th, the bond, the $1,000, will get wiped out. You don't have to pay any of it. Okay? So if I do this, sir, will you promise to go to court on the 19th?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. I will do that. You got the standard conditions and restrictions of release as well. Plus, you're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol. You must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department and contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Thomas Smith, any questions?
No. Yes. Is it the court downtown?
It is. It's the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. The address will be in your paperwork.
Perfect. I will definitely be there.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Very much, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. All right. Harry Elsie and then Megan Seidner will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
I'm hard of hearing.
Oh, the headset. Okay. Just one moment. Counsel, do you have the Form 4 yet? Are you still waiting on it?
Your Honor, I've been checking my email, but I don't see it in there either.
Okay.
I have checked in the back, and we still haven't received it either.
All right. If I had more ability to get that to you, sorry that you're having to wait so long.
That's okay.
All right.
It should be on.
Sir, can you hear me now? Is that better? Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Harry Alfie, 12.
Thank you, Mr. Elsie. Mr. Elsie, you're here on 2 Superior Court probation violation warrants for alleged violations of terms 3 and 5. I've appointed you an attorney, and your case will be held at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. You have a probation hearing August 19th, 8:30 a.m. I am affirming bond in the amount of $500 in each of these. Your total bond is $1,000. That is a secured appearance bond, meaning you can pay that amount directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $1,000 would be $100. If you pay that, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Mr. Elsie, do you have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, Megan Seidner and then Brittany Bergen will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Megan Seidner, 9.
Thank you, Ms. Seidner. Ms. Seidner, you are here on 2 Superior Court probation violation warrants for alleged violations of terms 3 and 5. I have appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing August 19th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am affirming bond in the amount of $500 each. Total bond is $1,000. It's secured appearance. You can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $1,000 would be $100. If you pay your bond, you'll be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates, and you're promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol. You must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Ms. Seidner, do you have any questions?
Is there any way that I could get released today without bond? A pinky promise on everything that I'll go to every court date and anything. And
I mean, it's been quite a few months, ma'am, since you've checked in. That's the problem.
I've honestly learned my lesson, and as a person that doesn't have any money and someone that, tries hard really just to have anything, I really don't want to end up back here again.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's been since March, Ms. Seidner, and so, I mean, I wish things were different, and I guess what I'd say is, again, like I said earlier, I mean, there's someone who, it's been 11 years since they've made contact with probation, but they stepped up and took care of it. And so, unfortunately, I don't have anything to tell me that the situation that as it was yesterday, when you weren't in contact for a number of months, would be any different than tomorrow. So I'm going to keep the bond in place. But I strongly encourage you going forward, do what probation is required to do. Make it the highest priority. If you make any mistakes, just take responsibility and take care of it right away, and you can get through probation. So good luck to you, Ms. Seidner. Brittany Bergen, and then Fo Trieu will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Brittany Bergen, 11.
Thank you, Ms. Bergen. Excuse me, Ms. Bergen, you're here on 3 Superior Court probation violation warrants. 4 alleged violations of terms 3 and 5. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing scheduled August 19th at 8:30 a.m. That's at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I'm affirming bond for the amount of $500 in one case, $250 in the other 2. Total bond is $1,000 secured appearance, meaning you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $1,000 would be $100. If you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates, and you're promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Ms. Bergen, do you have any questions?
Is there a way I could get any of them lowered, just so I can go back to work? I was under the impression, well, she had contacted my mom, so I thought that's what she was going to do. I mean, I was going this week, and that's my fault, but I just got out of prison, so I'm still adapting to life, getting a car, trying to get interlock because I can't drive, but I'm still trying to, get to work, and the probation, I know I'm on it, and I take it very seriously. I did really good when I was on it before, so I know what it takes, but I just lost contact of her. She does have my mom's phone number. She did meet my mom, so that was probably where I thought maybe, oh, well, if she would contact her, then I could see or whatever, but I did think about it, and by the time I went to go get the rest of my stuff from my kids' place, I had already I had to have an escort over there just because it does involve him, so that's what I did, and just one thing led to another. I'm just trying to adapt.
Yeah.
Back to life, and it's been 3 months. it's hard when you lose everything, and then you have to get it all back, and then, you know, I know what it takes to be on probation. I mean, I did really well. I'm just trying to step away to where I don't have to fully, we can't go to court yet, me and my kids' dad, just because I have all this other stuff I have to do, and then I'm just trying to move and everything, and I just want, like, I just want you to understand that it's just, I didn't mean to not check in. I didn't mean to not figure it out. Like,
Right.
it was just, I didn't even know I had 3 of them. Like, this is my first time violating ever on probation. And
But it looks like there's one from your other case, because you had it reinstated back in June of 2023.
that was when I went to prison.
Okay.
So I had to get it reinstated because that's what they have to do to send you.
Mm-hmm.
So the judge did that, and then I went to prison June 9th. And then I got out in May.
Okay.
And I did my whole time and everything.
Well, I'll tell you what, here's what I'll do for you, Ms.
I'm
Bergen.
sorry,
I mean,
it's
it's
just a
not,
misunderstanding,
no, it's
yeah.
okay. So the 2 that are 250, I'll reduce those to 100. The one that's 500, I'll reduce to 250. So total bond then would be $450. And then I guess what I would just encourage you in the future is, you know, if you know you need to do something, it's always going to be better. I mean, if you had self-surrendered,
Yeah.
there'd be no bond.
That's what I was going to do this week.
I know, but please understand,
I know.
almost everyone says, oh, I was going to take care of this.
Yeah.
I promised I was about to take care of it. There's almost always a good reason. And maybe you really were. And maybe they really were. But often then they'll find one more thing. Oh, here's another reason not to contact probation. Here's another reason not to do this.
Yeah.
And those keep leading into other things. And so that's why just do it the moment.
Yeah.
Right? The moment you think about it, you get it taken care of right away. And then you don't have to have these situations where you're praying and hoping that I'm just going to do something, you know, I'm going to be nice. Because if you just take care of it, then it's you that's taking care of it.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not relying on someone else of, you know, I mean, it's somewhat, but most judges that I know, if you are self-surrendering, you're showing, hey, look, I'm willing to be arrested, I'm willing to take care of this, that's a good sign you're going to show up in court.
And when they told me about it last night, I was like, okay, you know, I understand. So I did, but I wasn't aware there was 3. Otherwise, I would have already, I came sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am, it's just very overwhelming when you get out of prison and then you have to adapt back to life and then.
No, and I believe you, and I have reduced the bond.
Yeah.
So by over half. And again, what I would say is just never ever let there be an excuse of why you don't comply with probation. And if you make a mistake, always just own up to it right away.
Okay.
And then you don't have to come back here.
Yeah.
Right? And again, I believe it's really hard. I believe it's hard to do probation. I'm under no delusions that, oh, gee, it's just so easy to contact your probation officer and do it. I'm sure it's hard. I'm sure it's a pain. I'm sure you're told sometimes to do things that you think are ridiculous and shouldn't have to do. I don't doubt that. But this is how you get through it. And you get through it, and then you don't have to do it anymore.
I just wanted to start from the bottom again and then get back to where I needed to, and then I was going to figure, you know, I just don't have my stable place by myself anymore. I have to live with my family, and it's really hard. And like I never thought that coming out I would have to do so much.
Yeah.
And it's very overwhelming, and I didn't have a plan. I came out, my mom just helped me. She can when she can. She has bills. Everybody has bills, so it's just really hard and overwhelming. So I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about it, and I know that was wrong, but it just wasn't a priority, and that was my fault.
Yeah, and so no, I hear you. I appreciate your honesty. And what I'm saying is, make probation the #1 priority. Because that's where people get into issues, is they say, you know, I was worried about this job. I had to take care of this sick family member. I had to do this thing, so I didn't want to contact probation. It's like, well, wait a minute. All of the things you want to do, job, family, all of those things, you can do those things if you're taking care of probation. And if you're not taking care of probation, that's what jeopardizes you being able to do those things that you want to do or need to do.
Yeah.
So if you keep it the #1 priority, you're going to be able to get through it and then not have to deal with it anymore. Okay? So I believe you can do it, and good luck to you, Ms. Bergen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.